Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the topic timing diagram of 8085. Okay, so just before starting this topic, some students are waiting in the lobby. So okay, okay. So timing diagram. So this is the topic of today, timing diagram. Actually, the introduction of this topic is like this: that we have already understand that there are different kind of instructions are there, and each and every instruction has different kind of machine cycles, and each and every machine cycles have different kind of timing timing sequence related to each and every machine cycle. So if I take opcode fetch operation, then it requires 4T state. 4T state means 4T diagram. Okay, and then if I take the opcode fetch, then memory read operation. Then in case of memory read operation, there is 3T state. In case of memory write operation, there is 3T state. In case of IO read or IO write operations, 3T state in each and every case. And there are so many exceptions also there. In some instruction like dad operation, dad instruction, there is only one machine cycle, that is your opcode fetch, but it is not limited up to 40 state, it is up to 10 state. So according to the different kind of operation of instructions, because the t state actually directly related to the how much time how much time it requires for any instruction to execute properly. Okay, so for say suppose we are moving a data from register to register, that is your mov p comma a, then it will require very small time, because there is only register to register operation. And in case of if we are moving some data from memory to accumulator like LDA instruction, then it has some operations related to the memory, so it requires more time. So that's time, how much time is required, that time and corresponding what is the things that are executing internally in 8085, what are the things that are continuously executing internally in 8085, that all the things will be visible in this timing diagram. So timing diagram is very important topic, because it will show you how 8085 is performing or executing each and every instruction internally. Okay, so now this is actually your introduction of timing diagram. So there are as I have mentioned, that there are different kind of operations like output fetch, memory read, memory write, IO read, IO write. So you can find out different kind of timing diagram are there, different kind of timing diagram are there. Acha, okay, if you have any question, then I have seen someone has raised their hand. So if you raise your hand, then you can ask, you can write me directly your question. You can directly write your question here in chat box. Okay, okay. So I'm moving forward. I just so moving forward to this topic. So there are, as there are different kind of your memory cycles are there in 8085: opcode fetch, memory read, memory write, IO read, and IO write. So it will discuss different kind of timing diagram step by step. So the, the document that I have shared with you. Okay, so this is actually the part of a book. Okay, so you can refer this document also, or you can refer the book also. So meeting, actually I have locked the meeting. Okay, so from onwards, if anyone is trying to enter the meeting, they cannot enter. Okay, so you all can hear me properly, right? So where am I? So I am so I am at the position. I am at the position of showing the timing diagram of opcode phase cycle. So first operation, that is always common operation for each and every instruction, is your opcode fetch. Okay, so opcode phase cycle. First, you can see the timing diagram of opcode phase cycle. So I'm directly going to that figure that will show the timing diagram of opcode phase cycle. So you can see this diagram, right? The opcode fetch timing diagram. Okay, so now you can tell me what you can means what is your understanding by observing this figure in this chat box. You can answer my question. What is your observation? Just observation by from this figure. One or two lines you can write me, so that I can, from that point I will move forward. Just one or two lines. Write it down in chat box. So I'm expecting one or two answer. Okay, what is your observation from this timing diagram? One or two answer, then I can move forward. What is your answer? Write it down. Come on. If you don't write it down, then what is the, means what is the requirement of telling all these things? So first write it down. Any what is your observation? You have to write it down in chat box. No one is writing anything, right? Then I don't think is it necessary to means discuss with you these things? If you don't understand, right sir, I don't understand, but write it down something. I will explain you, but you can means I have taken so many classes, right? So that's why I am asking this question, because some
Yes, sir.
familiar terms
One
you
more
can
time.
see it from left side, sir. IOM,
Give some time.
IO zero, or this or this. This, are you familiar with these signals?
No, sir. No, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wait, sir. Actually, I'm giving the answer. Wait, sir. Wait.
Okay. Okay. Let me discuss then. Okay. Okay. I got the answer. Let me discuss that. Okay. So actually, first thing that it has, you can see it has two section. This first section is signal section, the left side, and in the right section there is M1, means one machine cycle. Okay, so it has two sections, signal and M1. Now M1 also is divided into four parts, because M1 is your opcode phase, and opcode phase has four T states, so it is divided into four parts: T1, T2, T3, and T4. Okay, the first signal is your clock signal, because without clock signal microprocessor cannot work. So you draw the clock signal in this way. Okay, so this is actually your clock signal representation. Then this signal, the signal is IO slash M bar. Okay, IO slash M bar. M bar means, that means when this signal value is 0, the operation is memory related operation, and when signal value is high, then operation is input output IO related operation. Okay. Okay, so you can see that this signal is initially it is high, means it is initial position. Okay, so one thing you can also see, that before T1 there is a small portion of gap is there. Okay, so that gap is representing that microprocessor doing something previously, right? So that previous thing is shown by this portion, right? So before, after signal and before T1 there is a small portion. Okay, so that is actually the initial condition of microprocessor, or previous condition state of microprocessor before handling this instruction. Okay, so IO slash M bar, so whatever its previous state, we are not concerned about that. We are for the opcode fetch operation, this IO M bar should be 0, because it is your memory related operation. So it is decreasing to 0 value, and all along this total 4 T state it is 0. So you understand what is the importance of IO member, because IO member will select memory or input output. So this instruction, this operation opcode phase is memory related operation, that's why it is 0 for T1 to T4. Okay, then this two signal S1 and S0, this is status signal. In status signal, you can see that S1 and S0 has a particular combination for opcode fetch, for memory read, for memory write, for IO read, IO write operation. Okay, so as there is a very particular combination for each and every operation. So in case of opcode fetch, the combination is 1 1. Okay, so in case of opcode fetch, the combination is 1 1. So 1 1 combination means uh, it's previously its state, we are taking that previous state is whatever the previous state. After entering to this operation, opcode fetch operation, its value become 1 1. So both signal having same value 1 1. That's why by showing a single line I can show it that both signal having the same value 1 1 throughout this T1 to T4. Okay, then these two signal decides which kind of operation it is, memory related. And what is the operation? By this combination 1 1, it is the opcode fetch operation. Okay, now your address bus and your multiplex address come data bus is coming in this scenario. Okay, okay. So next point is your address bus, that is A8 to A15. Your A8 to A15 is your higher order address bus, and it will contain the value of program counter PC H means higher order. So just to remember, whenever we are entering any address in our program, right? So whenever we are writing a program, then we are converting that program into the program table, where we enter the left side, you enter from your starting address, sequentially you enter all the addresses, and at the rightmost side before comments you enter the hex codes. So for suppose a opcode fetch operation, you are using some instruction that has some address, says for start your starting address. So in at your starting address you are writing mov a comma b, that requires only opcode fetch operation. So corresponding hex code you are putting into that starting address. So that starting address is when you execute your program, then your program counter will locate that starting address. So program counter high means it will locate that 20 20 position, and program counter low means it will locate that 00 position, 00 value. Okay, so suppose 2000 your starting address, where you have entered the opcode fetch operation. You have entered the hex code for opcode fetch operation of the instruction mov a comma b. Okay, then your PCH will contain that upper order address, and PCL will contain your lower order address. So I'm talking about now A8 to A15. So whatever its value in the previously, okay, its state of value will change. So as it is a address bus, right? So there are total 8 bus. So total 8 lines should be there. So I have shown only these 2 lines. Okay. So suppose A8 to A15 I have shown in this way. So as there are 8 bus, so 8 bus combination will change from 1 to 0, 0 to 1 differently. So you can see that it is not possible to represent this bus using only one line. So I have to take this representation, and throughout this cycle means throughout this opcode fetch operation. Okay, so your A8 to A15 bus will contain the PCH value. Okay, when it is changing at the end of the operation, at the end of the T4 state, right? Here it is changing. Okay, so this is for PCH. So suppose you are writing your first hex code at 2000 location. Okay, the instruction is mov a comma b. So corresponding hex code you are writing in the first location 2000. So from 2000 20 will come at to PCH, then 00, then 00 need to come. So 00 will come to the PCL. Okay, so 80 to 87. So this will be whatever its previous value in this position, it is not considered. Then it will change its value. Okay, then it will contain this PCL. Okay, so PCL and PCH, combination of PCL and PCH is your 2000. Okay, and now you just try to remember one that figure architecture. You can see, you can remember that or visualize that thing, that from there is at the rightmost position there is a address buffer and data bus buffer is there. Okay, and from that buffer, that circuit, the address, complete address is going out to the external memory block. So that, so similar to that, here that the address is generated by adding the PCH and PCL. Okay, so that address, combined address through that buffer will go to the external memory block, and from that external memory block, okay, that address 2000, from external memory block, that from that address location 2000, the data is your, that hex code data what you have entered, that data will be copied. It is copied, so it has written as opcode. Okay, so it is copied, and then after copying, it will be high impedance state. This is actually high impedance unused state. Okay, so you can see that 80 to 87, initially it has, as it is a multiplexed address come data bus. So first it will do the part of job of address bus. So first it is working as an address bus, then when it is working as an address bus, then complete address can be fetched out from 8085 to the external memory location, and from that memory location it will copying the data into that same bus 80 to 87. After that, after having that data, it will be it will go to, switch to ideal state. So this is actually function of 80 to 87 bus. Then you already know that ALE is a signal. ALE is a signal that will that is related to your 80 to 87. So when ALE is 1, means high, it is acting as a address bus. This 80 to 87 multiplexed bus is acting as an address bus, and when ALE is low, it is acting as a data bus. So initially as ALE is high, so this you can see that it is high. So this 80 to 87 is working as a address bus. Then it is throughout the end of this cycle, it is 0, means it, this multiplex bus then acting as a data bus. So this is the operation of ALE. ALE will decide that this bus will be acting as a address bus initially, then it will switch to data bus for rest of the time. Okay, and there is a read signal. So read signal is required here because you have to read some data from the generated address. So that data you have to read out. So read signal is required, but when to read, you are not reading at the initial time, that is at in the T1 cycle. You are not reading at T1 cycle. So at the T1 cycle, you can see that value is inactive. RD bar is 1. Okay, so you are reading in between, when you are reading in between T2 and T3, right? So it is becoming low at this state. So it is actually indicating that data from the memory is reading out. So this D0 to D7 block and this reading block is related. Okay. So so what I am showing here, I am showing that 2000 location MOV A comma B having a hex code 3 is stored. So PCH value is 20 and PCL value is 00, and corresponding data when it is reading out from the external memory, this value will be 3. And what is PC? PC is your program counter. So when you execute your program, then your program counter will start from starting address. So suppose this is your starting address. So program counter value, program counter high value is 20, program counter low value is 00, then your data will come as 3. What is happening to the ALE value against okay, happening to the ALE value is ALE actually the signal that will decide your multiplex address come data bus will acting as a which mode. So when it is high, it is acting as a address mode. When it is low, it is acting as a data mode. So initially, it is acting as a address mode because it is required. At first, you have to check. You have to take this address to the address bus. It is required. So initially, it is acting as a high mode. Then after getting this address, it is going out from the internal address buffer. At that time, it is value is low because it is acting as a data, because after when data this complete address is going out from the address buffer, then next operation is your copying the data from that address. So read is required. So read signal is activated as well as ALE signal is going low. That means it is indicating this multiplexed address come data bus is acting as a data bus only. Okay, so now I'm moving to the next topic. So basically, just a gist. So this is a timing diagram of opcode fetch operation. So whenever there is instruction which required only one operation, that is opcode fetch, like this means I have shown here mov a comma b, right? So all mov instruction has only one operation, that is opcode fetch. So corresponding all to all mov instruction, if I asked you to draw the timing diagram of any kind of mov instruction, then you can you can draw this diagram also. So suppose I am asking you to draw the timing diagram of mov a comma b, then you have to draw this diagram. But if I ask you draw the timing diagram of mov a comma m, okay, now tell me, is this the timing diagram applicable for the instruction mov a comma m? Is this timing diagram is applicable for MOV A comma M? And what is your answer? Yes or no? Just tell me in the chat box. Yes or no? So okay, if I look into this instruction MOV A comma M, okay, if I look into the instruction MOV A comma M, then what is the operation behind this instruction? It is copying some data from memory location to accumulator. So memory is involved here. So memory, no, M is a register pair, exactly. So memory is involved here. So that memory is denoted by your HL register pair. Okay. So M is memory, is memory. Okay. Okay. Next is, so what is M? M equals to your HL pair, right? So that means, what is the instruction MOV A comma M? So the data that is located at the location, the data at the located at the location by the HL pair. So suppose HL pair containing some memory location. So microprocessor has to move to that memory location, then copy that the value and put it to accumulator. Okay, so that means if I go to this instruction MOV A comma B, it has only fetch operation, right? MOV A comma B, MOV A comma B, it has only opcode fetch operation. But if I going to the MOV A comma M, it has opcode fetch operation as well as memory read operation. Yes, M will point to the 16-bit address containing a 8-bit data. Exactly. So data is 8-bit. That's why we can move that data to accumulator, because accumulator can hold only 8-bit data. So you have to see that what is the destination size, 8-bit. So we can handle only 8-bit. And what is the size of the memory? Memory is 16-bit. But what is the size of the container of that memory? That content value of that memory location is 8-bit. So 8-bit data is moving to accumulator. And for this MOV A comma M, there are two machine cycle, opcode fetch and a memory read. Then this diagram is not sufficient to cover this instruction. So all MOV instructions does not, yes, we have to draw the along with this the memory read cycle will come. So timing diagram of memory read cycle also we have to include. Okay, so you have to see, you have to understand that operation means how many machine cycles is related to instruction, then you can draw the whole timing diagram. So what I am showing here, just a gist, at 2000 location your MOV A comma B that has a hex code 3 is located, and this instruction required only opcode fetch operation. Then this diagram is applicable for this instruction MOV A comma B. But for MOV A comma M, M is a memory. Memory means HL pair. That means MOV A comma M require two memory cycles, opcode fetch and memory read. That means this diagram is not sufficient for MOV A comma M. We have to include the timing diagram of memory read. Okay, so your answer is right. So going to the next part. Going to the next part is your this 3.11. So 3.11 memory read operation. Okay, you can see that timing diagram of memory read is 3.11. Okay, now the diagram is similar to that memory opcode fetch operation, because you can see the signal is here. Okay, as it is required only 3 t state, so it is 3 t1 t2 t3. Okay, so signal, according to the signal list, clock is here, ios ember is here, s1 s0 is here, a18 to a15 is here, 87 to 80 is here, ale is here, rd is here. Means all the signals that is related to opcode fetch is same for opcode memory read also. Okay, but their values are changing here. Values are changing means, just to compare with, we just try to compare with previous figure. Okay, so previous figure is this. So you can see that clock is always same, io ember is also same. Okay, so clock and io ember for both this operation is same. Okay, so clock, io ember, both the operation is same. Now uh, side by side you can also see that the diagram for memory write also, right? Okay, so just first memory read. What is the what is the combination required for s1 s0? What is the combination required for s1 s0 for a memory read operation? It is required is 1 0. Okay, so s1 is 1 and s0 is 0. Okay, so you can see that the state of s1 s0 is changing from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. That means previously it was s0 is 1, s1 is 0. Okay, so why this kind of combination is taken here? Because to make sure that you can visualize the change of s0 and s1. Okay, so that we can visualize the change of s0 and s1. So if I take in previously s1 is 1, then this changing of state, this cross section is not be there. So to visualize the proper change, so it is taking that previously it was just in opposite state, and for this operation, memory read operation, it is changing from previous state to new state. So s1 is becoming from 0 to 1, so high, and s0 is becoming high to low. So this is the combination required for memory read operation. This is always fixed, s1 1, s0 0. So these two signals are done. Next, similar to the previous one, there is also A8 to A15 signal. So this is actually PCH. So your PCH, you can see that this portion, initial portion, is always there. It is also there in memory fetch operation. This initial portion, you can see initial portion. Okay, so always it is there to understand that it is changing for this in this current instruction. So whatever previous value, it is changing here. Okay, it is changing. After changing this state, it is containing the pch value, and you can see that it has t state. Memory read required only 3 states, so t1 t2 t3. and PCH remain up to that T3 state. Okay, so just to compare this thing with previous one, so here you can see that it is changing from previous to new state and staying in that state throughout this cycle. Okay, next just compare with this one. So it is from fetch cycle also, it is changing from previous to new state, right? So that part is same, but it is also changing at the at T4 state. At T4, during T4 state it is changing, so it is not up to T3 it is same. Okay, so up to T3 it is same, then at T4 it is changing. Okay, so you can see that the same concept is also here, that up to T3 it is same, then if there is T4 then it will change, but as there is no T4 for memory read operation, so we are not concerned about that thing. Okay, now the question is why it is changing in case of this opcode fetch operation. So to answer this question, the concept is that this is your hex code. So we know that for each and every operation, first machine cycle is opcode fetch, where the 8085 fetch the hex code from the memory, then it will put that hex code to the instruction decoder, and that instruction decoder will decode that hex code and understand that what next operation it has to do. Okay, so that means after reading the content from the memory, microprocessor put that content into the instruction decoder, and from there it is decoding. So this decoding and putting time into the decoder is extra time that is involved in the operation of opcode fetch, which is not present in case of memory read or memory write operation. So as there is extra operation is involved in opcode fetch, that is decoding operation of hex code that is coming from your memory block. Okay, so it requires an extra T state, that is your T4. So that T4 T state, actually there is no in that T state there is no function is required for the address our data bus. So data bus is going to ideal state, means this Z state, high impedance state. Okay, and your higher order address bus is just changing its state, just switching from its current state to some other state. Okay, so it is just changing its state. So as because there is no particular any function for this bus and this bus, so it is going to the high impedance state and it is just changing its state. And most importantly, at the T4 cycle time, at T4 time, T4 state. Okay, T state, so T4 state, actually internally which operation is going on, the instruction decoding operation is going on in the microprocessor. Okay, so this is the difference. So you can see that here also only three states are required. So PCH is high through, means PCH is remaining PCH throughout the state. Excuse me. And then uh, just 1 minute. এই পূজা, এটা একটু বন্ধ করো, দরজাটা বন্ধ করো তো। এখান থেকে কথা বলতে পারবো না, দরজাটা বন্ধ কর। Okay, so after that you can see that AD0 to AD7. So AD0 to AD7 is similar to the previous one, PCL. Initially it is PCL, then it is your data. Okay, and ALE is similar to the previous one, it is high then it is low. RD bar is similar to previous one. It is copying the data. So if I take so if I say that now MOV comma M, this instruction. So for this instruction, so you written this instruction at 2000 location. Suppose you have written an instruction 2000 location, that is MOV A comma M. Okay. And previously you have already performed one instruction, that is suppose at some location. um, let's say it. Suppose at you have written this instruction at first, 2000 location LXI age LXI age LXI age 2500. Okay. Then 012 at 2003 you are writing MOV A comma M. Okay. So actually your HL pair is containing 2500 value, and your 2003 at the 2003 you are writing MOV A comma M. So that means when you are at the 2003 you are writing what, its hex code, suppose 3E, you are writing 3E. So this part, oh god, 2000 LXI H 2500, then 2003 MOV A comma M, and this hex code is 3E. So MOV A comma N corresponding hex code is 3. You are writing 2003. That is readed by the which instruction, which operation? So that is readed by the which operation? Operation is opcode fetch operation. So opcode fetch operation from the address 2003, the hex code 3 is reading operation is done. Okay. Then the next operation is your memory read. So in case of memory read, you have to draw this in this diagram. So in this diagram, what will be the value of PCH? Now you tell me what is the value of PCH, because you are right now uh, you are right now executing this instruction MOV A comma M. Okay, and your program counter value was 2003. So that means at first you have executed opcode fetch operation. So in case of opcode fetch operation from the address location 2003, the 8085 microprocessor fetch the data 3E, then it will send that data 3E to the instruction decoder. Then the decoder will decode the data 3E and understand that it has further one operation, that is memory read operation. Microprocessor need to go to the location 2500, that is pointed by the HL pair, then copy the data available at that location. So microprocessor has to go to the which location, 2500. So your PCH will be here 25, your PCL will be here 00, and your data, suppose in that location you have some data. So this is the, suppose that data is your FF, then data will be your FF. That means I am saying that location 2500 having, I'm saying that location 2500 having data FF. So your PCH will be 25, your PCL will be 00, and data will be FF. Okay, so you understand this thing. So if I gist this memory read timing diagram, so in the gist I can say that it has three t state, t1, t2, t3. Okay, and it has total signals: clock, IO bar, S0, S1, higher order address bus, multiple address come data bus, ALE and read bar signal. And clock is always same for opcode fetch memory read operation. And then IO bar also same as the opcode fetch operation because it is memory related operation. And state of S0, S1 will be different with respect to upward fetch operation. Here S1 is 1, S0 is 0. So so S1 is becoming 1, S0 is becoming 0. And to show these changes, previously the just is opposite state is considered. And then 8 and A15, it is also same thing. Here your PCH contained throughout the T3 state, and A8 to A15 will contain this previous state. So always you have to consider some previous state changing to the new state. Then AD0 to AD7 is same concept. At first it is acting as an address bus, then data bus. Then ALE is initially high, then it's low, and RD bar as the data you are reading. So RD bar is low according to the in between T2 and T3. And I have taken the example of MOV A, M, where I have entered the hex code 3 at the location 2003. So that location 2003 and hex code 3 fetching and their decoding is done in the first machine cycle, that is opcode fetch. In the next machine cycle, that is memory read. So in that case of memory read, I have taken previously I have shown that your HL pair is containing pointing the location 2500, and in that location 2500 8-bit data, that is FF is there. So your PCH is 25, PCL is 00, and your FF is data is FF is copied. So once data is copied, this instruction is complete. So this is the gist. Now if I just change the instruction, okay, so um, if I change the instruction here, say I am writing first one is your LXI. I'm taking a different example, LXI H, comma, LXI H, and then 5000. Okay, and then I am using INR M. So INR M. So if I'm taking this example that has LXI H at the first one, then INR M. Okay, so you have written the LXI H in which location? The 2000 location, and you are writing the INR M at 2003 location. 2003 location. Okay, again is all gone. Good. So 2000 location, you are writing LXI H 5000 value. Then 2003 location, you are writing INR M instruction. So INR M instruction has how many machine cycles? Opcode fetch, because first you have to write its 2003 location INRM, then you have to write its hex code. So suppose hex code is your 4B, so this is your actually hex code. Okay, so this is your hex code, So first 8085 will uh, take this hex code and decode this hex code. So that is your opcode fetch operation. So first is your opcode fetch operation. Then microprocessor will understand that it has to go to the location 5000. Okay, and after reaching that location, it has to read the data. What which data? The content of that location 5000. So you have to read the data. After reading the data, what instruction INR M will do? It will increase that data by 1. So increase the data, so by 1. Then it has to write the data because it is in memory location. So it has to write the data. So it has to write the data. So INR M has total 3 operations: opcode fetch, memory read, and memory write. So memory read is required to read the data from the memory location, and memory write is required after modifying the data. After reading the data, it will add 1. So data is modified. Modified data it has to write into the same location. So memory write is required. So you understand that at the location 2003, I have written the instruction INR M, which has the hex code 4B. So this part, 2000, fetching the data from 2003, that is your 4B, is done in the first operation, that is opcode fetch operation. After that, it will decode the 4B data. So when it is decoding this data, microprocessor will understand that it has to go to the which location? The location pointed by the HL pair. So after going to that location, what Microsoft will do? It will read the data corresponding to that, read the data which is held by that location. So it will read the data. So in memory read operation is required. After reading the data, what this instruction will do? It will add 01 with that data. Increment the data with 01, adding 01 with the data. So when it is adding the 01 with the data is modified. So after this modified data has to write at the same location. So microprocessor will require another machine cycle, that is memory write cycle. So total this instruction required 3 machine cycle: opcode fetch, memory read, and memory write. So you understand that opcode fetch, you understand what is happening in opcode in memory read operation. So what is the PCH value here? So your PCH value will be 50. What is your PCL value? Your PCL value is suppose 00. And suppose your data, so data, suppose I am taking the data is your 23. So I am taking that location 5000 having a data 23. Okay, so I am writing that here. Here I am writing location 5000 having data 23. Okay, so that data will come here. Okay, so 23. So that data will come here. So 55,000 data is here. Then your data is increased by 1. So data will become 24. So that 24 data again, where it has to write same location. So same location means this is your PCH. This value will be 50. This is your PCL, and this value is 700, and this is your data, that is 24. New data, that is 24. So you understand how this instruction, what is the flow of this instruction? You have to merge 3 diagram. Okay, so when you merge 3 diagram, you have to change the value of this corresponding to your instruction. So first opcode fetch is done before. So then it is coming to the memory read operation, where the content of this location will be reading. So location corresponding data is here. After reading the data, you have to increase the data by 1. So new data, same location, so same value, and data is this 24 is written. So just compare with this memory read and memory write of timing diagram. You can see that clock is same, IO ember is same as it is memory related operation, and just the value of S0 S1 is swapped, S1 to S0 here, because for reading S1 should be 1, but for writing S1 should be 0 and S0 should be 1. And what is its previous state? Just its opposite state. It has taken. Okay, so same thing. Then your A15 same diagram, totally same diagram, totally same operations. Okay, only there is only one signal difference. So this is the difference, because here the data is going to be written, here data is going to be read out. So here data is going to be read out, but here is data is going to be written. So that's why it is the right signal is used here. So that means in a conclusion I can say, if by mistake if I draw the memory read cycle, memory read diagram, in case of memory read diagram, it will give a similar kind of operation, provided that I am doing the same kind of operation, means memory related operation. Okay, and I have to change only this signal, read and write signal. It also required this three state, it also required three state. It has the clock, it has the clock, it has the same IO ember, same IO ember. The combination of S0 S1 will change, because it is a write operation and it's a read operation. Otherwise the 8815 will be difference. The value concept is same, PCH. Here it is 50 and 00, because I am handling INRM of INRM instruction. But if I take some other instruction, this value will change. I will show this thing. Okay, so you just understand that for INRM operation how it is changing. So for INRM operation, this PCH is 50 uh, and 00 same, because we are referring same location, but data is changed because it is increasing the data. So if I write in INRM, in case of if I write DCRM, the data will be 22. Okay. Okay, so you understand it? Is it interesting or not?
तुला ना बैठो दे
Is it interesting? Okay, so just I make a one change. Say here I am changing one thing. Instead of writing this, I have to, this done again. Suppose I am writing this. Suppose I am writing an instruction that is, here I am writing instruction. Say at the location I am writing 2000 location, I am writing LD, HTA 5000. Okay, so HTA 5000, that means first is your 32, then first is your 32, then at 2001 location the hex code will be your 00, then 2002 location hex code will be your 50. Okay, so this is your opcode fetch operation, this is your memory read, this is your again memory read, and there is, as is it is STA, so there is finally one memory write operation also there. Okay, So that means there are total four cycles. Means you have to draw opcode fetch, then you have to draw memory read diagram, then you have to draw memory read diagram again, then you have to draw memory write diagram. Okay, so in case when you are using opcode fetch, so I'm just writing here your pch value is 20, your pch is 20, and your pcl is 00. Okay, and your data is 32. So your data is 32. Then when you are doing memory read operation, here this, so again your pch value is 20 and your pcl value will be 20 01, then your data will be 00. Then when you are doing this operation, memory write operation, then this will be 20, your pcl will be 02, and your data will be 50. Then you are doing, when you are doing a memory write operation, this will be 50, this will be 00, and this will be this will be the content of accumulator, because sta will write, suppose this will be your accumulator content. Later content. So you understand how the values are changing in these signals, because here I am dealing with sta. So sta means your opcode fetch, memory read, then memory read operation. So total 13 t states are there, and in the 13 states the value will change accordingly. So because you have written the instruction from 2000, 2001, 2002. Okay, so means when the question will ask, maybe asked like draw the timing diagram of opcode fetch or memory read or memory write operation, or maybe asked draw the timing diagram of sta 5000 instruction which is located at the 2000 address, located from 2000 address. Okay, so for sta 5000, this is the instruction located from 2000 address, means from 2000 it is starting. So you have to take this kind of values. Okay, please elaborate once again which part. Means I am right now I am considering the instruction that is, I am considering the instruction that is sta
This part, sir. This part.
from the location 2000. So how you write this instruction in this 8085 program? During that program you have already performed this kind of program. So 2000 location I have to write the opcode fetch, means I have to write the hex code for the instruction sta, that is 32, and 2001 I have to enter this value. Lower order address was 00, 2002 higher order address 50. Okay, so that will say to the microprocessor is, first is your opcode fetch operation, then is your memory read operation, then is your memory read operation. So once these three operations are done, there is also a finally one memory write operation also there, because this instruction actually, what is this instruction is doing, it is writing the content of accumulator into the 5000 location. Okay, so content of accumulator is written to the location 5000. So find, so last memory cycle is your memory write operation or memory write cycle. So I have shown that for opcode fetch operation, what is the value of your PCH. PCH value is 20, because you can see here 2000 location. You have to reach which location? 2000. You have to go to the 2000 location, then only you can fetch the data 32. So 2000 location I have to go. So PCH is 20, PCL is 00, and data is 32. Then after 32, after receiving the data 32, microprocessor will give this 32 data into instruction decoder. It will decode and tell microprocessor that you have to go to the next location and read the data, and you have to go to the, then after that also next location read the data. So you have to go to next location, means now microprocessor going to the next location 2001. So PCH value is 20, PCL value is 01, and data is 00. This data when microprocessor is reading uh, does not put into the instruction decoder, because already microprocessor put the previous data instruction decoder, and now microprocessor understand that it has to only read the data. Okay, so this is only a memory read operation, not opcode fetch operation. So memory read operation means it does not require to put this data 00 into instruction decoder. Once it gets the data, it will take the data and hold. After getting this 00 data, it will there are internal registers, means the registers that we cannot handle, WZ. So this kind of registers will put this. So microprocessor will put this data in those registers. Then microprocessor, after putting suppose the data 00 into Z, okay, then microprocessor go to the next location 2002 and fetching the data 50. So after fetching the data 50, it will put the data W and Z. So WZ will contain the total value where it has to write the content of accumulator. Okay, and then memory write operation is coming. In that memory write operation, WZ value. So you can see that memory write operation is not here in this line. So corresponding address from where you have microprocessor has to write or read, a microprocessor has to write the data, it is not given in the table. Okay, so microprocessor has to understand that whatever data I have readed from the last two cycles, memory read cycles, I have to store that data somewhere. So I have stored, microprocessor will store the data into WSZ. So from WZ, it will copy that PCH from W to PCH and Z to PCL. Then microprocessor can reach to the complete address 5000, and after that microprocessor will go to that location and write the content of accumulator. Content of accumulator. This is the thing that microprocessor will do internally. Okay, so today till now means this is the end of this session. So you can ask me if you have any question. Otherwise, you can just write down your complete ID here. Okay, so then I will end the session.